because that's what it is. Here, my book. I have everything written that you ever need to know. The book of knowledge. Oh no. So last time we left this game and we start this game with a depressing day. Isn't it great? Oh god, my poor voice. Especially if I have a lot of iris. When I woke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. And then I went into hibernation and did revive as a Phoenix Wright like 100 years later. Oh god. I will be back. It's gonna be 1-6. 1-6 is gonna be back. And I will show you my leggies. Good morning, Gina. She's ever so friendly, as usual. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So, where's your friend then? And we just ran 1-6 over with the omnibus. But that will not kill 1-6. He's a vampire. Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, however you say it, I don't know. Ah, Miss Susie had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. Yeah, alright with that, are ya? Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susie and I won't meet again one day. Even so. But you, Gina, you only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, Yoto. I don't know who is saying that because the game always does this to me. Oh god. Yes, don't be surprised. I give this little girl, which is 10 or 12 years old and a genius, not the voice you expect.
How are you feeling, Genie? Did you manage to sleep?
It's coffee. Aries, what are you doing here?
What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Waggy.
I know he wouldn't be taking any damage from it, but still funny as fuck. No, it would be more funny if we ran 1-6 over with a burning omnibus. And at the end, we put the dead body of thrice fired guy with a knife in his chest. All of this is so wrong. If I ever get good at drawing, I should draw that scene. Would be funny. Great way to show your support, kitty. Ah, coffee runs away. off he goes to bite some ankles. Let him have a nose around. What harm can it do?
Oh, that reminds me, I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news?
The good news is I'm alive. The bad news is Van Zieks is going to be in this room.
What do you say, Rono, Genie?
Oh, well, I think I would rather get the bad news out of the way first. Nah, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad.
Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities.
Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move.
Huh? Bad news was a weather report?
So, I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Gosh, yes. Gosh, I hope she's gone because... Whew. Alright then, so what's the good news?
Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make it up the time later. Well, that is good news, isn't it?
It couldn't give a monkeys, really. If only all good news cancelled out the bad.
And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See?
Hey, do you like that? Well, let them say what they want. See if you care. I can't because you're covering your face.
Don't worry, Rono will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will?
And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be: Discharge diver is dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno?
What? What did she just say? Discharge diver is dauntless do-gooder. Okay, I get it. Yeah, let's hope so.
Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here. That is interesting that we take that in as a court record. Why? Thank you, Bob.
Pawnbroker perishes in pick-a-purse plunder. How awful. For Ginny, I mean.
But tomorrow's headline will be Discharge diver is dauntless do-gooder, right?
Yes, something like that. If possible, I would like to go even bigger.
Bigger? How?
Proud pickpocket protects planet post-trial.
Perhaps? Protects planet?
Oh, I can't wait for tomorrow's now. It's going to be so great.
And then it's gonna be something completely different. No, that's the same text. Okay. Okay, let's turn it around. There's also nothing in between. I try to turn this in a method so I can maybe see it.
There's a sensational story lower down the front page as well. Look. Ministry mole classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice.
For a 10-year-old, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of the world news.
It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently, they are being intercepted by hostile nations.
Communications are being intercepted? But how would somebody be doing that? How? How can someone eavesdrop on someone talking to another person? I know, we're not talking about that. We talk about Telegram.
That's the question, isn't it? I've come up with 3 different possible methods so far. Are you looking for a new career, Runo?
No, of course not. I wonder. Perhaps this was Lord Strongheart was talking about yesterday.
Yes, it could be, and it could explain why he
has Grexy running from pillar to post at the moment. Naruhodo discovering politics. Oh god. The details of the okay. This morning payment which contains an article about government secrets being leaked to foreign agencies. So it's gonna be a point in the case.
Good luck then, Runo. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement.
Yeah, by firing colorful stuff into my face. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris.
Yes, Genie?
Well, I was wondering is all bad. About Sholmes, did they fix him up alright?
Yes, the operation was a great success, but Hurley still hasn't come around yet.
Eh?
I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up.
I'm sure Grex will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susie and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense. The trial is about to begin. I don't know, I hate this guy. He exists in every court. Please make your way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris?
Lead the way, Runo.
Oh god, she's going with me in court, isn't she? Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. Not him. Stop. If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that. Oh god, it's gonna be this courtroom again. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. Yes, this is Santa Claus, by the way. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. Now, I call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. Here it is. Ha ha ha. The prosecution is ready. The defense is ready. Lord 1-6, you're looking good today. Me lord. Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 centuries ago, my lord. I mean 5 years, of course. Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again, today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior? In what might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess, I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are 2 types of person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large.
He means Mr. McGilded, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
What are you doing here? Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I'd known what monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those willy scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in their final hour. In other words, the confidence trickster from the tiny islands in the far east, the Nipponese. What? Did he really just say that?
He means you now, Runo.
I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? A torrid look of hatred in Lord Vanseek's eyes. His eyes are closed. You cannot see them. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Vanseek. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors. Whatever. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. I want to say that this is not random because we have returning characters in this jury. So, I will now question the entire courtroom. Look at this! Sure, he wasn't in there. But she was before here. This guy is new. This guy is not new. He's a doctor? Last time he looked like he was from Germany. Then you have her, which was here before. And I guess we have... what was his name? The famous Russian guy who withstands poison. The advisor of the Tsar. What was his name again? I should know. I forgot. Why is he petting a mouse? What is this? What is this jury? And what does this guy have here in his hair? What is this? So she is listening to music. Probably not, but I guess this makes sense. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt of the innocence of the defendant? Oh God, what voice did I give him?
A former lieutenant in the British Army here. Don't you know, chaps like me were born ready.
Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think. Oh God. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything. And I'm ready for it. Watch your movies in 3D. I don't understand it. I can't left it in there. It's not possible. How could I have? Women indispensably in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop. Wait a second. Excuse you. I'm sorry? This guy... This guy is like a terrorist. What is he doing there? And this explains why she is telegramming. And this explains the newspaper article. This guy probably intercepted the messages from Britain with its allies, because this guy is a terrorist. Why is a terrorist in the jury? What is this bullshit? I kind of want to give him a Russian accent because they come from Russia. So da. Yeah, my stream. Good day, I'm visiting. Good day, I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Is something wrong, Bruno? Are you concerned about the terrorist in the jury? Not exactly, it's just... I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors, almost all of them in fact.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they?
They happen every time I'm in this court.
But it's quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know.
And therefore you chose randomly a tourist who happens to be also a terrorist. Yes, very randomly chosen. Hello, sir. Do you enjoy the tourism in our wonderful city that is London? Yes. We have chosen you for the jury. But I'm not a citizen of the UK. Welcome to the jury. Where's the logic in that? So, I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Now, Lord Van Siegs. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case. But Lord Van Siegs, I'm having something in my mouth, and now I need to speak to you. Oh no. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a few words of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there was never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photo of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. Let me think. So since there is this black here, which is basically gunpowder, I would make the strong assumption that he was shot very close to his body. Like someone literally held the gun against his back and shot. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near instant death. Instant death, bought in your can in your grocery store as a 6-pack. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. Interesting. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. Someone like the accused, you might say. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photo as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Yeah. Okay. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. We shall do that in a second. Confirms instant death through a single bullet wound from the back. Like I said, there's no other signs of trauma. The upper half of victim's back, no other visible signs of trauma. Autopsy findings, instant death from a post-iro anterior bullet wound to the heart. The bullet entered the body from the back on a gently rising diagonal trajectory. Put a hat on that old man already and play All I Want for Christmas Is You on repeat 24/7 until everyone loses their sanity. Yay! You know what's the most funny thing, Coffee? So here, the one song that is played on repeat is Wham! Last Christmas. You know, last Christmas I gave you my heart. This time I gave it away. So basically that is the song in Europe that is played on loop. Can't wait, my restaurant put the exact same music another time. Yeah, so basically that song is the Christmas song here in Europe. But you know what? Read the lyrics of that song. And I have never heard another song that is so obviously actually simp-like than this song. Like, this song is literally the simp song ever. And they use it for Christmas, which is like, cool. What a great idea. This close to pouring ice into the deep fryer. Isn't a lot of songs are like that? I would say there are some other songs, of course, like that, but the fact that they have chosen this song as the Christmas song, where it is about getting together, being nice to each other, love your friends, your family, and they have chosen a simp song to represent Christmas, is like, why? You know, it literally promotes the opposite, like the opposite to what Christmas should stand for, right? Some people find Christmas a fitting occasion to simp. Not like they need a reason to simp anyway. It's not like anyone is listening to the song. It's just a horrible choice. Are you even listening to the song when it's playing? No. But I know the lyrics. That's the terrible part. I know the lyrics, so every time I hear it, I go like, oh shit, it's the simp song. I mean, in America, it's the Mariah Carey song, right? So I can't speak for that song because I never actually read the lyrics to that song. Like when my country plays Happy New Year every Lunar New Year's. You know, in Asia, at least you have twice a New Year. Like you have New Year, and then you have like Lunar New Year. You have like an additional holiday. You know what the song is about, but I don't care anyways, because I have better things to do than just to focus on that song. Yeah, I also planned out the song as good as possible, but yeah, I'm not a fan. You know, it's like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we even doing this? Why choose one specific song and play it forever as the Christmas song? Like, music evolves. We will have new songs. Why are we not choosing every year a new Christmas song? Like, we have mainstream music, and there's always this is the song of spring, or like these are the songs of spring, these are the major successful songs of summer, and so on. So why are we not doing that with Christmas? That's like the only exception. Like, here's the Christmas song, which is like 5 billion years old, but who cares? You know, since it's a national holiday, I get to hang out with friends and stuff. There are new Christmas songs every year. It just choose not to use the new songs. Yeah, which is sad. A photo of the victim found murder, blah, yeah, okay. Oh my god. We will get nothing out of this at all. Not at this point. Not like they care about the people who listen to it. It's just there for the occasion. Think of the people you employ in your store that have to listen to this song. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept the articles pawned to him. I am that person. Yes, you are. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's then, isn't it? Blah, blah, blah. Isn't it grubby little girl a pickpocket? She's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums. Oh well, it's only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the jurors waiting for? Not even the manager gets to decide the song list. Well, go to your boss and put his face into the fryer and go like, is this fun? We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. Okay. I think I found the bug. Did you hear it? He poured wine into his glass, and then the sound came of him actually throwing the glass into the lamp behind him? Someone fucked up. I don't know. I never seen his face. And you won't, because you are not looking into his face. You just grab him by the neck and put him into the fryer. My learned Nipponese friend, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. It's like one director-approved song list used for every single branch. Yay! The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There are witnesses. What? Good gracious. After their testimony, these girls' true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pig purse or cold-hearted killer? Here's to establishing the truth. The court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Vinsix. At once, my lord. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno. And I think I want to look at this. Okay, so this is not going to help us at all at the moment. A gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Winterbank, that Gina was holding when she was found unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge, which makes sense, because it is the murder weapon. This is Mr. Winterbank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty.
Mr. Winterbank always used to keep this gun to hand on his shop counter.
Yes, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand.
That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe.
But this one bullet was fired that night and that poor man lost his life. He was protecting his shop. Was he protecting his shop, I wonder? Trying to keep the articles safe? Is this the same conversation? Yeah, okay. There will be something that we will find. There must be something we will find. But not right now. I think that's because it has. Drama. Let us begin. Bring forth the witness to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on the 16th April of this year. Who is that going to... What is this? These are the two people who were in the shop that night, who shot Mr. Sholmes. Why are there witnesses? That makes no sense. Didn't Greg say that they captured these two guys? Okay. It is Mario and Luigi. Witnesses, state your names and occupation for the court. This is something for their noise. A pear. If we squeeze it hard enough, we get some pear juice out of this. Oh no. Luigi! Name's Nash, skulking. Occupation is baddie, professional baddie. It is me. It is me. It's me, Mario. Mario. Name's Ringo Skulking. Occupation same as him.
Beste keuze. Schoon nou is busy.
Luigi, that's right. We're what they call the three skulking brothers. Why three? Who the fuck are these nerds? I hope they are not nerds, because that would be an insult to any nerd. Is he the brother of these two? Because they say the three skulking brothers. I also like that they say brothers, not brothers, brothers. Huh. I take offense to their presentation on a personal level. These are his brothers?
What's he looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with his lot.
Luigi. God blimey, that's gold. Don't you know what you're going through? It is me. Wahoo! It is our old brave. Lost contact with enemy we have, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And last night we come across you, the very spite of the bloke, ain't ya right, Ringo? He is Nash, he is. He very spit of him. So we decided on what we was gonna do. We was gonna call ya. Big brave, sulky. Not skulky, sulky. Why would you trust these people?
Come on, Allah, live it out, you chi.
Sulky is skulking, and that's before he's run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky, Gregson, Lake, blah blah blah.
I beg your pardon, my lord, but the name's your tippers.
What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand. The skulking brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves? Are they these three?
Nej, mina pengar paid in brief, but de lump me in this lot.
2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. By Jove, you mean to say? What an extra common coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. He's standing on a box. Yoda! The various trespassers of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face a trial in the very near future. But also, I would like to remain a share, keep the chin straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector, skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take stand. Mr. and Mr. Skulking, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what you exactly saw. Maybe do. Luigi. Cause the skulking's never skulking. I hate those guys. Yeah, boy. Luigi, we was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the cave's door was ajar, you see? Ho! It is me, Mario. It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in was... I'm not doing a good Mario voice, I don't care. But once we got inside, core blimey lummy, we heard gunshots from the big door. We went to see what the door was locked from the inside. That's a lot of O's. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left that after nice and quiet. Yes, after you shot Mr. Sholmes. A terrible coincidence it would seem. I'm an idiot. And the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony in these is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yeah.
What's the matter, Bruno?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. Just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. The front door of Windybanks was ajar, you say. What time of night was this? Luigi, must been about 1, right, Ringo? I don't have to do this. I see when someone reacts. Oh. It is mean. It is. Is Mario's voice higher or lower? Oh. Yeah, I would say so, right, Sulky? How was you know? I played for the show every morning. I just give a show a day. Luigi. Well, it was pitch black inside. It's true, ain't it, Ringo?
I'm not sure, Niche.
It sounds like Mickey Mouse now. They're like two villain, dumbass henchmen that can't get anything done right. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna give him a Mario voice. I just make him a Mickey voice.
Haha. I'm not sure, Niche. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky? Me old mucker?
Leave me alone. It's definitely there definitely was a small lamp burning inside. That's what alerted us to the situation in the first place. And when these gentlemen ventured into the open establishment, the accused Miss Gina Lestrade already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That is pure conjecture. Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened.
Hold it!
What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in?
Well, God moves in mysterious ways, they say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Niche, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon.
God's will often present itself as the whim of thieves, does it?
It weren't on the whim. I'm dead sure of that. It weren't, Niche. It weren't, like I said at the time.
Sure, God messed up badly with that character creation scene. You don't find those doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it.
It was a sign that our long-lost brother was inside.
They are not very good liars, are they?
Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a block of what looks like our brother.
Those chips aren't getting chomping. Those chips are getting a chomping today.
Hold it!
A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep. Yep. Just the one, Governor. Governor. Just the one, Governor. I can swear on that.
It was, Nash, it was. Ain't I right, bruv?
If it is about the victims, yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. And when there's a father can be around. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true, I remember him saying that as well.
So we can say say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used as the murder weapon.
Yes, my lord. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hand of the accused. Wonderful.
Hold it!
You mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? If my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation, perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door, that's to the storeroom.
Course, we was only little oil lamp burning, not much to see be. And the door was hidden in behind a curtain, no.
That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, why exactly did you try to open the door? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I should think.
Well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, this, maybe, I suppose you could have said we ain't normal, eh?
Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways on hearing a gunshot or scream. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen are of the latter inclination. My learned Nipponese friend, it would seem, is the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night.
Thank you, counsels. So I believe we all understand that the door was locked and could not be opened. Proceed, witnesses.
Hold it!
You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story?
Well, it was bedlam soon as were indeed. It was, Nash, it was. Didn't even have the time to pull the dukes out, me Lucy Lockets.
I just didn't understand what he said. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say?
Oh yeah. That's right, Governor. Nothing we ate more than violence. Peace-loving nibblers we are, not bludgers. We are, Nish, we are. We never even pulled the me dukes out, me Lucy Lockets.
So you would clearly like us to believe.
Come again?
As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at the person?
Saints alive, they fired a gun, you say? Yeah. Blimey, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway.
It was. Who was? Ringo is the one on the right.
Why, the bleeding Nora.
Didn't you blah something? You were armed with a gun. And as you fled the scene, you fired that gun at London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. Shot the great Mr. Sholmes? Did I hear that actually? There was a rumor he'd been rushed to hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, these pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicious countenance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Furthermore, the barrier shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers.
Yes, indeed, remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. Remnants of cum around the The court will hold this weapon as evidence.
Now, my long Nipponese friend, press E. Okay, I shall press E. Firearm found in the possession of the Skulking brothers upon their arrest. There are signs of a single round was fired. Wow. This is what I call an old model. Damn, son. So, there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 cylinders. Why? It's evidence, I get it, but why would you leave it loaded? Yes, which tells us only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yes. It happened almost as soon as we walked in through Windybank's door.
I'll make those brothers pay.
Yeah. Yes? Here's to you successfully presenting the evidence. For yes, there are telltale signs of spent powder on this gun, and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. 5 bullets for 5 people, perfect. But the prosecution demands evidence that it was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial, which we can... No, maybe. For 5 bullets for Van Zieks, because he won't die anyways. Vampires are such busted magnets. Busted.
Objection!
Well, I don't need evidence, because I was there.
Objection!
However, the rest of us in this courtroom were not. If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of this rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Sauce, I was there, bro. Trust me, bro. Evidence that these two fired the gun before they left the Windybanks at that night.
The court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbroker's shop that night?
So it's not on the revolver, it's not this, it's not this. It's not that. Hi, Bob. Shall do that, Bob. Let me do a save here. Just in case. Like, the game is not terrible when you, like, literally run out of options. But regardless. Let's see. What actually proves that they shot at the... It's not gonna be this. It's not gonna be that. I mean... We cannot present this gun and say like, this proves it, because it doesn't. This is only about Windy Bank. This has nothing to do with it. That is the McGilded case. And this is certainly also not related to it. This is not related to it. This is not related to it. Which leaves the blood samples, this ticket, and this here. This one was in the box. This one was in the code. I can only assume it's this. Because we can prove there's blood in... Because we can prove there's blood from the shop inside where Sholmes was shot. And we have an indication. Which is blue. This is green. Didn't we test Sholmes yet? I mean, this is clear. This is proven it's Windy Bank. And this is proven that it is thrice-fired Mason. So, this must be Sholmes' blood. So, I will present this.
Take that!
It was wrong because the music keeps going. The evidence is in this portfolio.
What on earth have you there, Counsel?
During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do the job they're trained to do, how arrogantly Nipponese of you. Well, anyway, we analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio.
And you claim you have evidence that the court is demanding therein?
Yes, my lord.
No more dallying then, Counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once.
What do you have in your...
What do you have in your portfolio that proves these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene?
It's this one.
Take that!
What is that? Explain.
It's a photo taken at Windybank's pawnbrokery on the day of the incident.
From the scene of the crime, is it?
Is that...
Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes do not deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged in there.
Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date shown being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death.
The incident occurred at 1 hour after midnight, but this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar has been set to the 16th.
Lord, I will eat your fingers.
Oh, my fingers.
That's right. And while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes this is credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun in the pawnbrokers that night. The problem is that we cannot prove that this is Sholmes's blood. And the thing is as well that we have, like, this is not CSI UK. So, if it was CSI UK, we would be like, and here's the bullet, and because we can look at the bullet and every bullet is unique when fired, we can prove that this bullet was fired from this gun. But we are not in that, so all we could... I'm not even sure if we can prove this. No! Order! How does the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zieks? If that is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objection. What? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hallowed chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claimed to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back on the street. Eyo, take it easy there, Governor. You're gonna land us in the soup. We had a deal. You weren't getting into them details. Uh-huh. A deal? Tell him, Sulky. Set the bloke straight. I can't. The bloke is not straight. No, that's insulting for the soup. Yes. So he knew, did he? Van Zieks knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. It would seem now that I owe my learned Nipponese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zieks? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brothers' gun. However, if that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes, then clearly these witnesses cannot be accused of the fatal shooting of the proprietor and victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. Not yet. So that's it. Ayo. That's it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. We didn't, Ash. We didn't. That's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let us not forget, attempted murder. Face, get on, face. In for it now, bro. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appears to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery.
Eccentric, says who?
Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop.
Oh, that's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
What is that, Counselor? It has the appearance of a photographic contraption.
As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half an hour it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. The prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. That's a lot of photos. As the court will observe, copious identical prints are produced in quite a desultory fashion.
Rather prodigy, I feel.
In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, milord. If I may refer the court to the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here.
You say these cameras produce a print every half hour. I'm afraid I fail to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals.
One can only pray that would-be criminal... One only pray that the would-be criminal lingers, my lord. On the night in question, the witness currently in the stand were not caught on camera.
Hey, that's a bit of a fried duck, bro.
Lady Luck loves a skulking. Witnesses, at that time did you trespass? At what time did your trespassing begin?
It must have been just after 1, right, bruv?
Must have been, yeah, just gone 1.
In which case, minutes before the brothers entered the establishment. What scene might have we expected to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence.
Good Lord! That's one mighty skull in the background and a little cute doggy there. It's the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
And that doesn't prove that she shot him. As the court can clearly see. The accused is pictured, gun in hand, facing the victim over the shop counter. No doubt coercing the proprietor to open the door to his storeroom.
Quite. One can only easily imagine the events that unfolded. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel.
I don't believe it. Ginny.
What? It doesn't prove that she shot him. She It only proves that she forced him to open the door. That's all. Here's the photo. That stereoscopic photo. The strange part is, if I remember correctly, this curtain here was actually more to the left when we looked at it from a moment ago. So this is definitely his gun. That we know. In short, the accused is the only person who could possibly have killed Mr. Windybank. No? I say, me lord.
I wonder if I might put in a word at this point.
Go ahead, Mr. Foreman.
Took a Bailey bullet to the knee in the Battle of Maywent in 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from a service, sadly. Course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of chaps like us on the battlefield.
Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point?
Carried on the battle after retirement, you see, the battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am, leading the small squadron, 6 men, all good and true.
It's a woman.
And we all go down together, you mark me words, one for all and all for one.
The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand?
Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct?
In a manner of speaking, yes, that is the Gary Dept Squadron's position, sir.
What? No, it's too soon to make a judgment.
Status report for the courtmen on the double.
His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions too.
I think we find the truth as clear as day now. I could reach out and touch it.
I wouldn't have left it in there. I wouldn't. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember.
Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth undeniable. Stop.
I'm very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky.
Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning in this matter. Announce your considered verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
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 Why is it always the same thing? Like, it's always this.
It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leaning already. End of case, thank you, goodbye. Roll the credits.
That photograph must be the definite evidence that Greg's mentioned.
But Jeannie didn't shoot him.
No, of course not. Milo, the defense wishes to assert its right to summi exami Sammy Mummy.
Very well, the court grants permission.
So, you refuse to admit defeat again. How unsurprising.
We shall proceed immediately with the Sammy Mummy. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready?
Absolutely, sir. Always refer an action of my chips.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
I just don't like her shoes.
That makes sense.
It's Sammy Mummy time.
All the evidence clearly point the finger of guilt at this young pickpocketian. Pickpocketian.
What?
As a house... As a house... What? As a housemaid, I should like to see all filthy eyesores promptly and rigorously eliminated. I think you find that if you look at the photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out.
None of these arguments are justification for their judgment. As per usual, if I have left it in there, I should think there will be repercussions by now.
Mind made up, stop. Global radio transmission of verdict to follow, stop.
In motherland, we say never judge by clothes, judge by head. I'm convinced brothers are innocent. You just said, like, that you are convinced that they are... Okay, no, forget it. Forget it.
The circumstances of the crime and the evidence do indeed implicate that the defendant rather comprehensively.
Why is the revolutionist here? I told you. Like, what is an actual terrorist doing here? I explained this to you. Like, what is this? Is the UK court going around and is like, are you a tourist here? Well, yes, I really like environment. And they go like, cool, you will be in the jury. Because he's totally a UK citizen, right? It makes no sense. The storeroom locked from the inside, in which the victim and the accused were discovered alone, and in the accused's hand the fatal revolver, the firing of which was heard by the witnesses.
Not to mention this print. Take it from a chap who's seen action on the battlefield. That young girl's on the verge of pulling the belly trigger.
No, she's not even pointing at him. Thanks a lot, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh dear, Hurley's cameras were supposed to help, not to hinder.
I'm afraid I think you have an uphill struggle ahead of you.
Gina didn't shoot Mr. Winterbank. Which means there's more to this situation that we've seen yet.
Agreed. I can read your mind. Bruno, you didn't say a word, but I knew what you were thinking.
You have the floor, counsel. Proceed with the Sammy Mummy.
Sammy Mummy. Let me press Q.
Hold it!
You're Mr. Natsumi's landlord, Mr. Garrett. Mr. Garrett. Aren't you? We really must stop meeting like this.
Hey, you're the lawyer chap. Well, there's a turn up for the books. It's rather turbulent time we had back then.
Some extra common events took place at your house, that's for sure. Luckily, Mr. Sholmes and I were able to get to the bottom of it all. I think we did rather a lot for you, didn't we? I mean, obviously. I wouldn't be suggesting that therefore you should change your leaning to not guilty or anything.
Can't be denied, I suppose. The curse of the house was the talk of the town after the business. Lodgers moved out and I couldn't get a barley soul to take up the tenancy.
Oh?
You haven't had the heart to break the news to Joanny yet. Bad enough that the old girls clapped up. Yes, can't be denied. Your did do rather a lot, but not for us. That's for dashed certain.
I suppose not.
Curse? There can't be no suggestion of that being the reason why I'm leaning towards guilty here, obviously.
Obviously. But honestly, I really wish he would pay more attention to the trial and less to the juror number 2.
Hold it!
Polishing the bench, I see. Again.
A maid's work is never done. Not a blemish must remain.
What exactly do you mean by filthy eyesores?
On my way to the market for his lordship, I have to pass through East End. The place is full of beggars, pickpurses, and crossmen, the scum of the earth.
I thought politicians were the scum of the earth. A little harsh, perhaps?
Let me be plain. If it were up to me, all those back slums would be made spick and span or eradicated.
Oh good, she's not an extremist or anything.
At least we have people like the great detective working to achieve these important goals.
You're referring to Mr. Herlock Sholmes?
It's right. I like to keep abreast of his exploits by reading Rand's magazine in between my duties. He does wonders cleaning up London streets. In my opinion, he should be declared an honorary maid of the capital.
Should he also wear a maid dress? Mr. Sholmes, a maid?
It is really quite unforgivable. Gutter scum having the audacity to shoot at our very greatest detective.
It's not what she said, but however, whatever. Minor detail, it was the 2 brothers in the stand who shot Mr. Sholmes, not the defendant.
A minor detail indeed. They're all gutter scum as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it just might be an idea to get our facts straight anyway.
Yes, all right. I shall amend my statement.
Hold it!
I agree with you. The shooting of Mr. Sholmes was an unforgivable act. But the purpose of this trial is to determine who shot the pawnbroker, Mr. Windybank.
I'm afraid you're splitting hairs, sir.
Sorry?
Whether it was the thieves or the pickpurse, it was still gutter trash that shot the pawnbroker in the end. Filth that should be cleaned up and eradicated, in my considered opinion.
Thanks so much for sharing. Changing this my mate's mind isn't going to be easy.
Rono. It was one of those two brothers that shot Hurley, wasn't it?
Yes, without question.
Well then, I'll never forgive them.
Oh, Iris.
Perhaps we can use this mate's statement to help us somehow. Do you think?
Yes, maybe. Let's listen carefully to what each juror has to say first.
Hold it!
What do you mean, look at the photograph in stereo?
Sorry? What? Don't you know? If you look at the photographic print normally, it looks as though the pickpocket girl is about to shoot the victim, obviously.
Objection!
But there's no indication that the defendant ever fired the gun.
All I'm saying, if you look at the same print in stereo, it could reveal all sorts of new information.
By any chance, are you a fan of stereoscopes?
Oh, how did you know?
Let's call it a lucky guess.
It never gets old seeing two prints merge into one before your eyes. It's extra common, it's captivating, it's the height of modernity.
Modernity? Of course.
Oh yes, I think you will find that the stereoscope is here to stay, giving us new perspectives we could only dream of before. It's the greatest invention the world has ever seen.
If only I could give me a new perspective on this case, I might agree with you. And maybe it will.
Hold it!
What exactly have you been muttering about all this time?
Or I forgot the tools of my operation.
You keep talking about having left something somewhere or something like that.
Ah, so sorry. As you can probably tell, I'm a surgeon.
A surgeon? Totally passed me by. Are you blind? Are you blind, Rio? Rio, are you blind?
Of course, people conducting surgery in this country aren't considered to be doctors, or no. Even though me and my kind are all the forefront of medical science, the real brains in the field.
So, what is it that you think you've left behind?
Oh well, that's a little embarrassing to be honest. You see, I was operating on someone yesterday, standard thing, went in through the abdomen. But when I finished the procedure, I couldn't find my scalpel anywhere.
Ah yes, leaving a scalpel in your body is always a good thing, right? No.
What?
Did he? Surely not.
Exactly. Surely not, you say to yourself, don't you? Worrying, isn't it? That has been troubling me the whole time. Could I really left my scalpel inside the fellow's belly? No, of course I couldn't. So, there you have it. Like I said, a little embarrassing really.
That's one way of putting it. The other is manslaughter.
Murder.
That's exactly my concern, and seeing as this case appears to be all but soon up, I need to focus on trying to remember exactly what I've seen up elsewhere. Now, I'm sure I made sure everything was back as it should be. Well, as sure as I could be without being sure. That sounds like worm noise. I'm sure you need to be more sure.
Hold it!
Sorry, radio transmission? What do you mean? Are you from the Far East, Stop? Yes, from the Empire of Japan. All communication with Far Eastern nations used to take place by mail, snail mail. Royal Mail steamers take more than a month to complete the journey.
Ah, but now we have the electric telegram, so we can send messages using electric signals. Thousands of miles of cables have been laid along the ocean beds, connecting the entire world.
Did they? I mean, I never really read into the whole telegram time. Did they really put like cables through the ocean even back then? Yeah. That might be something interesting to look up on YouTube. Thousands of miles of cable on the ocean bed? Makes my head hurt just thinking about it. You are well informed, young lady. But cables will soon become a thing of the past, Stop. Just when I was starting to catch up. Radio transmission is the future, Stop. Message carried over airwaves to four corners of the globe, Stop. Excitement growing, Stop. Atmosphere electric, a stop. Right, try not to wear out your fingers. Era of wirelessly telegraphy, stop. Driving technological revolution, stop. Matrix revolutions, stop. And people, inventions like the stereoscope are the height of technology. What utter piffle. A piffle. Next time you wanna insult someone is like, what an utter piffle. I can't understand it. I really can't. They're just silly toys. Ooh. Now you've made an enemy. But I can. Can I do this?
Excuse me.
Yes. Juror number 3. Sorry to interrupt when you're obviously fuming, but. What? Do you perhaps have something to say about juror number 5's last remark? As if I couldn't guess. Oh, you bet I do! Say that again. Go on, I dare you. Goodness, are you talking to me? I think he just might be, yes. You think stereoscopes are just toys, do you? Huh? Absolutely. I mean, really, a machine to view photographs in 3 dimensions? This game is so interesting and your voice too. Thank you. The game is also reducing your brain cells. Just a warning. Why on earth would you not just use your eyes to look at the world around you? It's all 3-dimensional. What a great way to appease the man. No, I'm sorry. Stereoscopes are of no practical use at all. She's mostly right. You just don't know! Pardon? I I think you will find that viewing a photograph through a stereoscope can unlock all sorts of possibilities. Virtual reality, for example, that doesn't exist here. I'm obviously going to have to demonstrate. What sort of possibilities? Well, take a crime scene, for example. I know where he's going with this. If you had a pair of photographs from a crime scene that you could view through a stereoscope, it could reveal hidden clues you'd never even noticed before. And this is basically explaining to us because both cameras in the store that took every 30 minutes a photograph can now be used to look at it in a 3D sense. What?
Have you got any, Rona? Any prints we could look at with the stereoscope?
Yes.
I guess. How about this print there? Here, it should do.
That's what I say. How about this print here? It should do the trick. The thing is this. These two are identical. It's like the same thing. You know, because of this photograph here. Let's...
Take that!
I was wrong? I can't actually think of anything we could use at all. What?
What? Really? Oh dear. I think maybe I need to have a stereoscopic look at your brain sometimes.
What's that supposed to mean? So it's not that one. Maybe... Look, the confusing part is this. The confusing part is that these two are like the same photographs on the backside, where we already noticed it's a stereoscopic picture. That's why I chose it. The only other thing would be this, but the point is we have only this. We don't have the other one.
Hold it!
Please tell me you're not violent Bolshevik. The Russian revolutionary. Revolutionary? Duh, I believe there is such a rumor. It's just a rumor? As you see, I have unfortunate appearance. I look like vicious criminal. No, you are. Words, not mine. Just want to point that out. People call me a revolutionary, murderer, autocrat. And which glove fits? Good day, I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Why is he repeating this? I'm not sure yet. I shall see what I'm going to make for food. Right, that didn't go sound staged at all. You'll forgive me for having my doubts. To be treated like vicious criminal all time, it is very painful. People do not realize. So I have much sympathies for these brothers. People say they are criminals only because of how they look. The Skull King brothers? Duh, maybe they went inside pawnbroker's shop. But they have done nothing wrong. That is all I want to say. Skull King brothers did nothing wrong that night. What do you usually make? I always mix it up each week. Alright, well, first of all, that's one not so little misunderstanding I'll need to clear up straight away. Tell me something, Iris.
What is it, Bruno?
The jurors are chosen at random from the inhabitants of London town, aren't they?
Yes, it's amazing, isn't it?
In that case, how is it that there's a Russian tourist sitting among them who looks for all the world like a revolutionary?
I wish I knew.
Let's ask the actual... How about we ask his lordship? I can't change the minds of more than half of these 6 jurors. The trial will be over.
But we know that Ginny would never shoot anyone.
Yes, so we need to find contradictions in what these jurors are saying and pit them against each other. I'm repeating the same thing for every court case because we already know. I must be ready to go whatever lengths I have to convince them of Gina's innocence. The only reaction we had was these 2. The evidence clearly points to Fick's guilt of the pocket 10. Let's press this again.
Hold it!
That's the same text. Okay, we had that before. Okay, there's no reason to keep pushing. Okay. Some of the earth, they should swing for shooting the great. They should swing for shooting the great detective. I think you'll have to find if you look at that photograph in stereo, the truth will just pop out. I've left it in there, should have questions by now. Mind made up, global transmission of verdict to follow, stop. Oh, God. I mean, the only reaction I had is this. So let's pit her against him.
Objection!
Those 2 statements clearly contradict each other. Do they? Sure, Albine can't accept that as a squadron leader. Yeah, no, I'm over 6 hours now. 6 hours and 40 minutes. What? All fading a common cause, don't you know? More chips. No way they would contradict one another. I concur, Mr. Foreman. You will refrain from personal attacks on the jury based on solely on your own frustrations, counsel. Really frustrating thing is, I thought I would identify a genuine discrepancy there.
There are a lot of questionable characters in the
squadron.
You might have to listen to what they have to say a few times before it starts to make sense.
Yes, press them on. Anything that sounds suspicious, that's the way forward here. But still, it should be labeling members of the jury as questionable? You should. Okay, mind made up, stop global transmission of verdict for a stop. Okay, he says don't judge by clothing. He doesn't remember. Yeah. Those brothers are the scum of the earth. They should swing for shooting the great detective. I mean, she clearly is for you look like that, therefore you are. Which could be a possible pit against him.
Objection!
These two statements clearly contradict each other. Good lord! Counsel, explain yourself. Oh my statement. Contradictory? Juror number 6, you've got the wrong end of the stick. I do not have stick, I have mouse. I have mouse. Strong, mighty mouse. As juror number 2 said earlier, when the skulking brothers fled the scene on the night in question, they fired a shot from their revolver. Yes, they shot poor Mr. Sholmes in the abdomen, I understand. Oh, and now we have something to pit against the surgeon. Surely you're not going to tell the court now that you didn't hear. Abdomen. Sir? Sorry, my English is still learning. His English is still learning. You are telling the court you didn't hear. Forgive me, I did not hear. Here is word. Abdomen, part of person body containing stomach and other vital organs. If this is what you mean, you should say in plain English. I'm Russian, not native speaker. But you wouldn't understand. You thought it was a good idea to let this man be on the jury again. What do you mean, again? He was never in the jury yet. So, you are telling me these brothers who like criminals were lying. They said before we never done nothing, but truth is they shot detective. This double negative. Yes, that's exactly right. Don't squeeze the mouse, you... The mouse is innocent, don't do that. Lying is worse, especially lies said by person who looks like criminal. Coming from you, that seems surprisingly prejudiced, whatever. This means, when they said we never took nothing, maybe it was also big fat lie. Is it true? Is this true? Well, according to the police report, no stolen goods were found, so... Enough! I trust no one now. It's not the mouse's fault, though, sir. I agree. Stop squeezing the mouse. I must see with own eyes. I must investigate crime scene myself. You can't. I'm afraid that is...
Yes, it is, Bruno. Easily.
Sorry?
With the prints from Hurley's red-handed recorder.
Ah,
If you compare the print that pictures Jenny and the next print from half an hour later, you will be able to see straight away if anything was taken or not.
true.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Prosecutor.
Tuh, tuh. Calling me on the prosecution in the middle of a summy mummy of all times. The print showing the accused threatening the victim after she broke into the shop is this one. Following these, the victim and the accused moved into the storeroom. Meanwhile, the skulking brothers entered the shop and summarily heard the fatal gunshot ring out. Ding 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 ding. Sadly, none of these events were captured on film. This is the print produced by the camera half an hour later after the brothers' flight.
So this was taken after Hurley was shot then. As far as I can tell, nothing has been taken.
That does seem to be the case. Can't notice anything that's obviously missing in the second print. So, brothers who look like criminals told only one lie. They shot man, but they stole nothing. It would seem so, yes. Good. No, not good. You were right, I did not understood situation. Now I know brothers have lied. I think it's very important to continue with the trial. Well, that's good.
Yay! Well done, Bruno. The balance is shifting.
Well, it's a start, I suppose. But there must be more in what these jurors are saying, what that I can use to expose the truth. And if I can do that, we just might turn the situation to our favor still. Thank you, counsel. Continue with the summy mummy. And kindly hand the new photograph to the bailiff to be filed as evidence. Okay. I'm sure the game is going to let me see both prints at the same time, right? Of course it won't. I have a question. Look at the top left corner. Why is that book or box there moving to the right side half an hour later? That's just weird. I also see there's something that disappears. So there's only in the front something that changes. Wait, is it? Hi, Bob. Ah, interesting. See this? This changes. It's broken, isn't it? This is the only thing that changes. The lamp. The lamp is broken in this. The rest should be the same. This is the same. And maybe... No, the curtain is the same. So this is definitely different. Yeah. That is the only difference in this picture, apart from the strange moving book. How did they manage to do that? Not a print in the court record. I wonder if I can make use of that. In Lake of Lies are many dead fish. We must find truth. Therefore, I say not guilty verdict. Makes sense. Might wait up. I've left it in there. Scum of the earth. All the evidence clearly points the finger of guilt at the same pickpocketing. And the photograph in stereo. Sorry. Let's press this again.
Hold it!
Radio transformation, what do you mean? From the device. This is the same text as before. Okay. Here's the question. I mean, I did this before. And then it said like, look at this. So
Excuse me.
I do this again. There is definitely something here. We are supposed to look at the specific picture. So we let that go. Let's try this again. But this time we go with this? Maybe? I don't know. I just have to try. Right then, juror number 3. Are you saying you can do this with any 2 suitable photographs? Thank you, Coffee, for being here. And sleep well. I will not go on for long. I just want to see if this is something going to do. But thank you as always. You'll be streaming half a day. It's almost 7 hours. That's not half a day. I would have to add 5 hours to that. Which I'm not going to do. Of course I can. Very well then, I would like you to demonstrate. I'll be delighted to. Just give me one more print and I'll amaze you all.
Take that!
Don't include 8 hours of sleep. That's 16 hours for a day. Half of that is 8. I'm not at 8 hours yet. It's close enough. If you say so. Alright, these two prints were both taken with the same camera at Windybanks on the night in question. Yes, I see. Tell me, Mr. Lawyer? Do you know how stereographic images work? Do you understand the principle? Well, I think so. I did have a lesson on only yesterday. Positive and good dreams to you. Kitty kitty. The left and right eye images need to be the same, only with a slight shift in position of some objects. Then when your brain merges the two images together inside your head, it notices the shift, as it were depth. Yes, exactly.
It's that small shift between the certain objects in the two pictures that's really important.
So what happens if you use two photographs that are exactly the same then? Oh no, obviously that wouldn't work at all. Not for seeing the scene three-dimensionally anyway.
Oh. Oh. Of course, now I see.
Ah, I think the young girl has discovered the secret.
I have.
Stop looking like that. Can you uncross your eyes before you tell me?
Have another look at these two pictures from Hurley's camera, Rudo. Go on.
Can the game doing this for me?
Can you see there's a really obvious difference between them?
Yes, for that I don't have to cross my eyes. Just saying. I'm heading out. Sounds good to you? Yes, good. Thank you, Dylan, for being here. Take care. Of course there are two people in the first and no people in the second. Stop it. Stop being stupid.
Well, yes, you can see that straight away, but now try looking at the pictures in 3 dimensions.
Alright, I'll give it a go. So to start with, you have to cross your eyes and then try make the two pictures overlap exactly. Let's see if by crossing my eyes I can make the quill pens from each picture overlap in the middle. Wait.
Well, did you manage to see it properly, Bruno?
What's going on with these two pictures? Some things on the counter sort of jump out at you. Yeah, I noticed that too, without doing it. Stop.
Yes, that's it, you see? That's the amazing power of stereoscopes.
Other amazing power.
Is someone going to explain this black magic, huh? Why did Juice do some of these things on the counter seem to jump out like that, hmm?
I have some other things to do in the meantime. Enjoy your stream. Can talk when you're free. Yeah. Thank you.
I I think you will find that if you consider the basic principle of stereoscope, you'll answer your own question.
Good move. Bye bye. Have a great day. Take care.
You too. Bye.
By basic principles of stereoscope.
As I said before, if you try to look at two identical pictures using a stereoscope, it won't work at all. It's the slight shift in the position of certain objects that lets you see the picture three-dimensionally.
In other words, even though at first glance it seems the objects of them all on the counter haven't moved at all between the two pictures. Yes, unless you do back and forth. It shows that actually there must have been a slight shift in their position.
Yes, there must have been.
Now hold your fire, sir. Got a reasonable grasp of this whole crust A's business, now I would say. But why the devil does the shift between the two prints exist in the first place? Well, what's the answer, fellow? Come on, you're crust-eyed master.
What? Me? I haven't the first idea.
You know, Rhoda, it's quite simple.
It is?
Just think through step by step. The first photograph was taken at 1. Then 30 minutes later, the second photo was taken. But the position of some of the items on the counter appears to have shifted slightly in the interim. So that means...
That means that sometime in the half-hour interval, someone must have tampered with the things on the counter.
Suckers!
Suckers.
Someone tampered!
New information, stop. Not mentioned in testimony so far, stop. Yes, we've had to go around in circles a little here, and it seems... But I'm starting to see what I should be aiming at in this summy mummy now. Ladies and gentlemen, the question now is clear. We know the items on the countertop were moved, but by whom?
Are you suggesting you might know?
Of course. I can tell you right now who is responsible for the almost imperceptible shift in the items on the counter. Can I? Well, it's probably one of those guys. I mean, it must be them, right? There's no one else to choose other than it can only be them.
Take that!
It was the witnesses currently in the stand, the Skulking brothers.
Wait. This does not agree with what brothers said in testimony before. They said they did not even have time to pull dukes from Lucy lockets. My phrase book says dukes is meaning hands and Lucy lockets meaning pockets.
Stop squeezing the poor mouse.
But is this another lie? Is this what you are saying?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Now hold on there a minute, you can't be sure of that.
I quite agree. The accused is a common pick purse after all. It's perfectly possible that she went through the things on the desk to see what she might steal.
I think that's unlikely.
And why exactly?
As you can see from this photographic print, the defendant was pointing a gun at the victim. No, she's not pointing the gun at the victim. It would seem as my learned friend indicated that she was coercing Mr. Windybank to open the storeroom door. In other words, Miss Lestrade's interests lay within the storeroom, not in the main shop, giving her no reason to touch anything on the counter. All of which points to one thing. The Skulking brothers have omitted key facts in their testimony.
But the accused is a pigpurse, common gutter trash. Why look any further for the wrongdoer here?
Because the Skulking brothers are thieves, madam. No better, in fact, worse than pigpurse. I believe that these brothers were looking for something on the victim's counter that night. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you would condemn the defendant on the grounds that she's a pickpocket, would it not at least be right and proper to thoroughly scrutinize testimony given against her by two thieves?
Well said. I, for one, would like to hear more from the shady pair. He punches it in his head. Fuck. Can you all now see? I think you will find stereoscope aren't playthings. You've seen their extra carbon potential firsthand. Wholeheartedly agree. Stop. Must purchase after trial. Stop. Will return home via Regent Street. Stop. Well, it would seem this trial has yet to run its course. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury have declared their inclinations via the mighty scales of justice. Justice?
Drink something.
I hereby call this submummy to conclusion with the balance altered in the defendant's favor. 2 lean to guilty, 4 lean to not guilty. Accordingly, the jury is without consensus. And in order for this trial to continue, and I order this trial to continue.
Yay, well done. Oh, by the way,
What?
you should hold on to this, Bruno. You never know when it might come in useful.
Twice in one trial would be unusual, surely, but alright. No. Stereoscope has been entered.
Lord 1-6. You will instruct the witnesses that the court demands additional testimony from them.
Throw it. I'm sure I won't spoil the bouquet to do so, me lord. Won myself another chance to probe that pair about their activities that night, at least. I won't stop probing them until I've proven that Gina is innocent. What is this, an alien case?
Ah, they put probe into me.
To be continued. To be continued. Which is a perfect point to stop. Yes. A wonderful